Hello, everybody. I am SS the Showstopper, and today is the 8th of April 2024. See, I'm getting there. I'm getting timing right. So I'm balancing myself. I'm getting in alignment as we speak. It's the 8th of April 2024. Now, I did a video yesterday and I was speaking on the entire situation with the whole Ivani being arrested and all of these kind of things and all sorts of foolishness that's taking place on social media. And I was very much upset, you understand, because we are seeing wherein persons want the opportunity so much to go into another country, preferably a first world country, in order to better themselves, in order to provide for themselves and their family, and also to move the stage that they're in life. You understand? Which means that they're getting a home for themselves, a reliable motor vehicle, starting a business, yada, yada, yada. And they strongly believe that if they get the opportunity to go into a first world country and get a job, they can actually be able to excel. And we're seeing wherein persons who are inambitious or non-ambitious are getting the opportunity or creating room for opportunity, and they get into the country. So let's say they did it illegally and they're already in the country and they're seeking asylum. You would naturally think that these are individuals who would go and get a job, who would try to get themselves gainfully employed so they can move themselves from point A to point B. But no, that's not what they do. And because that's not what they do, and people are cautioning them about the life that they are living, and they're disrespecting people, they get irate, they have their supporters who are and ambitious like them, who are supporting them to the end of the earth until they get themselves in serious trouble with the law. Then those same supporters are blaming so many persons except themselves and the individual. And so I was irate about it, and I consider it very annoying because, you know, when you see that others are getting the opportunity, right, that so many persons out there would love, and they are misrepresenting themselves, they're misrepresenting their country. They also don't care about how people see them. They don't care about how they are treated. You understand? It sheds some light on how a lot of people think and function within a certain demographic, in specifically Jamaica. And it puts a damper, and so many persons have been complaining about it, and people are complaining about it on social media. And it's like it's falling on deaf ears because those who are complaining are not getting the limelight. You understand? We see wherein so many other persons, including Major Hype, comedian Major Hype, and other persons have come out and spoke about it. You cannot be in the situation like this, wherein you're continuously creating havoc and creating problems on social media for yourself and other people. And then when you get yourself in problems with the law, you're looking someone else to blame. Your supporters are looking someone else to blame, cyberbullying people and all these kind of things. And, you know, it will generate some sort of iration in any individual, because we want to see that you excel. We want to see at least that there's some sort of change. There's some sort of positive change that you are making, especially when you decide to become a mother and stuff like that. We want to see, even if it's a single mother, and yeah, the curse of being a single mother has reached you, and we see wherein, okay, you're taking care of your baby, you're there nourishing the child, whatever. But we also want to see a healthy thing. You can't have the baby in your hand and you're telling people all these expletives online, you're going at it, yada, yada, yada. And, you know, it's just a sad situation in front of our very eyes, and people have been speaking out about it. And when people are speaking out about it, there are persons who you have as supporters who are shaming people and all of these kind of things. And now you're in or on the bad end of the law, then your supporters are now blaming someone else just the same. You understand? And it's just one sad case. And I know a lot of persons are saying that, yeah, she deserves it. And I do agree with them. You deserve to be arrested. You're doing way too much. And, you know, threatening people and destroying people's vehicle and all these kind of things. You deserve whatever it is that you get. If you get $1 million from it, that's good. If you pick up 3 bullets from it, that's good. If you get arrested, that's also very good. You understand? It's either two things, you know. It's either you stop or you will be stopped. And clearly you don't know when to stop. So you are stopped. You understand? And that's how the cookie crumbles. So moving on to something else. Now, I've been listening to Shenseea music and Jada Kingdom music of lately, and I haven't commented on it. I haven't done any form of commentary on it. I haven't spoke about it because the songs are really trash. The songs are really, you know, without substance. It sounds much like the male artists, a lot of male artist songs out there. I know them because I hear them oftentimes and stuff like that. And I was working in a bar So the songs were being played all day, every day. So that's how I became familiar with a lot of these artists and a lot of their music and stuff like that. For a good moment, I will listen it. I'm not going to say it because sometimes you want to hear the garbage because it takes your mind off a lot of things. But then I channel it to therapeutic things instead. But let's say all things are equal. I've listened to the songs and most of them are trash. I know I've been listening to Shenseea and Jada Kingdom songs off lately. And it's really garbage. It's not of any substance. And I remember when Shenseea came out, me not itch up under no man arm like roll on. Boss position, so no boy can't try program me. And then she did you're not ready at all, ready for all. Oh my God, this unconditional love I got for you. And then Sub Rosa, I wanna give it to you. Yes, I loved Sub Rosa. And all these kind of things that Shenseea did. Those songs were really nice. It sounded as if even if it was being written by a man, it was written in a tasteful way. And so we like that. One of my friends said that his favorite song for Shenseea was Tougher Than I Done Said in a School. Never job me get in ever in murderer mood. Bad girl, whatever. That was his favorite song because he liked the imagery that Shenseea put on. Like she owned the song and she owned the bad image that she was putting out in it. So he liked that. That was one of his favorite when it comes on to the imagery and the video quality and all of that. My favorite was Ready at All and Sub Rosa. You understand? Then Jada Kingdom came out with Love Situations. I know my time them wasting. Oh my God. You see the smile on my face? I loved those songs. And then she did, first time you see you did know, say, you did I go get my, trust. And then she did this one, what this can't be real. I don't remember, but it's Jada Kingdom songs. And it showed that these songs were actually written by men because they were all catering to a guy. So we can tell when a song is really written by a guy than when it's written by a woman. So we can tell that songs were actually written by a man. But it was putting it in a tasteful manner and stuff like that. But of lately, we're seeing wherein Shenseea came out with Hit and Run as a comeback song in the local dancehall scene. And we're like, okay, I think that's a 9-day song. Just like, because I was relating it to Governor One and Move. And I was like, it's the same message, but nobody came for Governor when he did the song. So why are you guys coming for Shenseea? It's the same thing. I said, okay, it's a 9-day hype. She wants to get back in it. It's done by Steve McGregor, the genius, and you know, people like the production, everything of the song, and they say, okay, fine, they're gonna let it slide. A lot of men were in their feelings because they didn't like it and they didn't like the message, yada. That's how we know hypocrisy and stuff like that. So we leave it there. Then Jada Kingdom come out with Gen Z Jezebel. And I'm saying I'm not paying attention to that. You understand? I'm not paying attention to that because that's garbage in and of itself. Then I see Shenseea come out with a new song. I don't even remember the name of the song. And it's about spitting a mouth and all this. And I'm like, who are these songwriters? Is it that these guys are gay? And I don't want to put it on the gay community. I don't want to put it on the gay community. Some anti-woman type of men. The type of people who write the same songs as Roger Wilde and stuff like that. Because I don't get it. Why do you want your excrement or your waste in someone else's mouth at all times? And I'm listening to these songs and they sound very dark and trashy. And then the Gen Z Jezebel, it's like a degrading type of... And I'm just so over it. Like whoever it is that are writing these female songs, come on. Who are you? What type of man are you? Are you married? Do you have a wife? Do you have kids? What's your agenda for the black community? What's your agenda for black women in the black community? Because the songs are very destructive. It's not sending a positive message. Check out who's Jada Kingdom target audience. Who's listening to her songs. Check out Shenseea target audience. Who are the persons listening to their songs. It's not sending a positive message. I don't want any guy to spit in my mouth. It's not going to end well for him. So if a guy think that he's going to do that, I mean, we are having some sort of intimacy and you know, you're going to do something like that to me. Think again. It's not going to end well for you. I promise you. And so I don't know what's with the promotion of this. I don't know of any woman with self-respect who is going to condone or support this. And I know a lot of guys out there also who are simply not going to support this type of message. You understand? Because I don't think of a man wifing a woman who is thinking about something like that. Or a guy wifing a woman who he wants to do something like that too. We saw where in Young Miami, as I said, was celebrating the whole female degradation. She wanted like being urinated on, and I guess because it's a rich guy, a billionaire, and all these kind of things. You understand me? Yada yada yada. Different subject, different day. But I'm just saying that what type of man is going to support this type of song that these guys are putting out? You females and these men are putting out. The songs are very destructive. I know you're getting your shows 1 and 2 shows here in the Caribbean island region. Same type of demographic, makes no difference. But you know you want to go to the big shows. You want to go to Europe. You want to go to Europe. You want to go all over the world. You want to go to the continent of Africa just the same. You want to go to South America to perform. And yes, it is a feel-good moment. It's a feel-good moment when there are persons internationally that are dancing to your songs, are jiving to it and all these kind of things. There are some people have their ratchet moment. People have their vulgar moments. So they will come out and they will do it. And they have ratchet people with continuous ratchet moment. So they will come out and they will jive to your music and stuff like that. And it shows that, yeah, there are some people listening it. But at the end of the day, you are doing something that is very destructive. And it's only when you see your daughter in porn, or when you see your daughter caught on tape doing something like that, that's a time then you're going to realize that this is what you are teaching the wider society. Because you can come in, you see what a lot of you guys are doing. You're in entertainment and you're saying that, okay, I send my kids to private school. I do this for my kids. I give them all the discipline, but I can put the garbage out there so someone else's child can listen to it. Or someone else who isn't growing their child the right way will somewhat seep through and listen, because everybody have access to a smartphone. Every child have access to a smartphone. So they're going to see it. Someone's going to see it, so show to them whatever the case may be. But you are saying that you're safeguarding your child, so they're going to private school. They're not listening to that type of music that you're putting out there. But guess what? There's something called karma. There's something called the universe. It's going to reach them one day or another. Why do you think so many celebrity kids take drugs? It's not the fact that they have access to it, It's not the fact, it's the life that a lot of them parents were living and the things that they put out there. So other people's kids who are vulnerable, who are of impressionable age, who are naive, would become susceptible to what the message that they're putting out. So they think that because they send their kids to private school, their child would escape it. No, they did not. No, they did not. They end up taking drugs just the same. You can ask Tatum O'Neal. She's the daughter of Ryan O'Neal. You can ask Redmond. I think Redmond, the Redmond, who is in prison, he is the son of Ryan O'Neal and Farrah Fawcett. These are two Hollywood actors. You understand? This is what happens. This is what happens when you're putting garbage out there. So I'm not necessarily going after the artists at this point. I'm going after the songwriters. I'm going after the producers. I was recording music and I was saying something and then I didn't feel good. So I'm glad that they didn't put out there because it's garbage. My conscience is not going to allow me to go out there and put that out there so that other people can listen. It's nice when there isn't anything wrong with the intimacy, the intimacy of the song, because we all have sex, right? The intimacy of the song is not the issue. The issue is the degradation. It doesn't seem like someone that you're respecting. You understand? And you're promoting it. It seems like it's pornography, audio pornography. What is pornography? The life of a prostitute being on tape or being filmed, being documented, being recorded. So someone is seeing it. So it seems like it's the same thing with the music that you guys are putting out. It's very nasty. It's degrading. And I don't like it. And I know that there's so many persons out there that doesn't like it either. You understand? And it's easy to say, oh, it's just entertainment and it's your duty to raise your child this way. It's your duty to raise your child that way. You see what is happening with what had happened to the son of Vybz Kartel. His son ended up there by the end of the law where people, according to them, they're being targeted and this and that and all these kind of things. Your kids end up paying the price for a lot of these kind of things that you put out there. You understand me? I'm a mother. I'm not perfect. I'm trying to be mindful as much as possible, but I'm not going to feed someone else's child garbage. You understand what I'm trying to say? I don't like the songwriters and the producers behind a lot of these songs that these people are putting on. We all know you want money. We all know a lot of these labels are out there because ask yourself, why a billionaire? Why someone who is a billionaire or someone who is in charge of a multi-billion-dollar company would take up an artist who have absolutely nothing to offer than pure talent and decide to sign him or her? Why you think they do that? They do that because remember, they have royalties that they're collecting. So their billions is generating in and of itself. They're also investors. You understand? So their billions continue generating in and of itself. They don't need to sign any artists anymore. But why do you think they sign these artists? Why do you think they sign these specific artists? Because they continue with a message. And the message is what? To perpetuate the negative stereotype in the black community. It's an engine and you have to keep that engine going because someone has to be made to feel inferior at all times so they can continue their wealth and their mentality of superiority. Murder is a business, You understand me? Inferiority complex is a business. Racism is a business. And the rabbit hole is so deep. There's a university on racism, There are degrees to it, Just to enlighten you people, there are degrees to it. And the rabbit hole is very deep. That's why you don't see me wear clothes with big print. You will never see that with a big print, a big name brand print. I don't wear it. I spoke in videos before. You can go and watch it. I spoke in videos before where I'm not going to get into the fine details of it. I don't wear it for a specific reason. And if you want to know, look keenly in the white community. How many of them do you see wearing big print clothes? As rich as that mother is, you don't see him wearing big print. You don't see her wearing big print. They wear the brand. They're just not going to wear the big print. And there's a reason they don't do that. When I was a little girl, a tiny little girl, I had a cousin. And it's a male cousin. Remember I told you I grew up around men? I grew up around men. And I had this cousin. And he looked like a local street thug. But he had wisdom for days. And he used to say to me that if you study the history of the white community, you walk naked on the road. He used to say to me when I was a little girl. He used to say, you ever see me in a mesh ganzi? He asked, better yet, have you ever seen a white man in a mesh ganzi? There's a reason a white man does not wear that fishnet ganzi. Fish net. What do fishermen use a fishnet to do? You understand? He always come and say, why do you think a white man does not wear a big print clothes? It's rare you find a white man in a big print brand clothes. There's a reason for it. He taught me these things when I was a little girl before I started going to high school. He taught me these things. And so I grew up with that mindset. Yeah, I'm struggling because I have an old soul and I'm still young and I'm here. So I do struggle. But there's certain wisdom that I was taught at a very early age and it haven't left me. So there are certain things that you don't do. The realm of racism is extremely deep. Somebody's pushing the engine for these female, for a Shenseea, for a Jada Kingdom to be putting out these type of songs. For a Raja Wild, for a Malidan to be putting out this kind of music. For a Craft, Pablo YG, for them to be putting out this kind of music. And you're like, oh yeah, it's just music. It's not. It's not. That's where you are tricked. You see, my channel name is SS Devil Advocate. And the greatest trick they say the devil has played an individual is to convince the world that it's not real. Because if it's not real and you don't believe in it, it's going to do anything. It's like you declaring me dead. I can do anything and get away with it. Because I don't exist, remember? So someone else has to be doing it. So this is what happens. There's an engine behind what they are doing. Somebody's pushing the engine. These songs are not good. It's for somebody. The songs are for something. And it's for somebody. It's for somebody. And it's for something. And it's sending a message. And that engine has to keep going. The negative stereotype of a black woman, of a black man has to keep going. Because when you men record the songs and you're saying to yourself, oh, this is that, and she's a this, and I'm going to marry off to a white girl, I'm going to marry off to a non-black girl, I'm going to cater to that in the future because it's better for me, or it protects my image, or I'm better represented because I have this honey on my arm. Guess what? You cannot escape the negative stereotype that you not only pander to, but you also were a part of, or is a part of. You can't escape it. So you producers I think people need to take their time out and go and research on who these producers are, who they are signed to, who they are associated with, and all these things, why they are pushing out this type of music in the society. And people have been coming out and speaking out about it, and people are incorporating video games, Hollywood movie, violence, pornography, and all of these things. The only reason these engines are still around, it's because of the money that it generates from it. The money it generates from it. If the pornography wake up tomorrow morning and the revenue, Hollywood, or the United States government wake up tomorrow, they only collect 100 million for the entire year in pornography. Hey, they're gonna shut it down. All moral compass comes into play. Video game industry, same thing. If they move from 3-4 billion to around 100 million, all video games shut down tomorrow because they realize it's destructive. All morality come into play after that. Anything that doesn't generate income, morality stands in the middle of it. Once it starts generating, all morality goes out the window. But when it comes to the black community, always remember that there's a message before revenue. There's a message before capitalism. There is a message. There's a stereotype. And somebody has to continue the engine of the negative stereotype. And this is the reason these artists are signed, because they are going to do it. They are going to do it. You know, you put a price on it. There's, every now and then you'll find an artist jumping out and saying that, you know, I'm sorry I did this. I'm sorry. We've seen it with Cardi B. We've seen it with the same Sukiana who does these things. We've seen it with them. Every now and then they jump out. They're sorry they did this. They're sorry. Because what? The emotions, the spirit in them, or what you call the consciousness in them, is coming into play. It's coming into play, and it speaks loudly sometimes, and they try to suppress it. That's why they drink. That's why they pop pills, because they're trying to suppress their conscience. That's coming into play. I'm not perfect, you know. I'm just talking about the message behind a lot of these songs. Maybe if I say it in patois, probably you guys would relate or say, yeah, true, well, this and that. And maybe because I'm using the Queen's language, that could probably be the case. So a lot of persons don't necessarily want to relate or like it or this or that and this and that. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I'm not mad at you guys. When you're programmed and hardwired to think a certain way, it's going to happen. Sometimes your messenger doesn't come with a church hat and a big broad belt, or come with a tie and on a pulpit. Sometimes it's like that. You understand? Sometimes it's just like that. And there's nothing you can do about it. Sometimes it's like that. You understand? And another thing that I want to say to you, guys, please, if you're new to my channel, don't come and disrespect the subscribers that are here. People are free to post and say what they want to say. You don't have to agree. And I like that when people disagree. I like when people agree. But keep it respectful. Do not disrespect other persons on the channel. Do not disrespect my subscribers or people who watch my channel. Don't do it, please. I don't like it. And I'm going to have to remove your comment if you're being disrespectful, and if you're disrespecting other persons or me. I'm going to remove the comment, but you're free to make your comment, but don't be disrespectful. That's all I'm saying. Be respectful, not don't be. Be respectful to other persons. They are free to voice their opinion and stuff like that. You are free to voice your opinion, but be respectful. That's all I ask. Yeah, and thanks for those who are, you know, subscribing. Thanks for those who watch my channel, who stay watching and don't subscribe. Thank you for your time, just the same. It's all good. I'm not mad at you guys. You know, everybody has their taste and preference, and every now and then you'll find drifters coming in and stuff like that. So I'm not mad at you guys. It's not for everybody, and that's how it goes. And I'm not afraid to say that my channel is actually not for everybody. I'm not trying to create a cultic fan base. I'm not into that. I'm just letting you know how this thing works here. You understand? And I'm going to venture out into other things, but not just straight. I'm going off on a tangent. I'm getting back to the point. I'm just moving on to another point, venturing into other things that are more of more substance and stuff like that. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about before I go any further, I hear you, Vegas. I see dancehall artist Vegas coming out and he's speaking about Sir P and what he's doing and stuff like that. And I hear you, Vegas. I hear you. Dancehall artist Vegas, that is. If you don't know, I was a person that was on Emotep, and I was also on Rick Stream. So I have communicated with you before when we were speaking on the whole entire situation with the subject matter. I was a person that you were communicating with. So if you happen to not able to put a face to it, it was me. And so I respect what you're saying. I don't know what kind of beef Vegas and Serpy have going on. I don't know if it is raw, medium, rare, cooked. I don't know, but it seems to be that there's some sort of beef or some sort of bad blood between two. I'm not trying to get involved in it, but here's my thing. I've spoken about Serpy, and I think I was one of the first persons who said that you have to be careful that the message is not really instigating problems among people, rather than bringing a solution wherein arrests can be made, people can be put on trial, people can be convicted. If you're putting out these heavy information about people and serious information and allegation on people, we're hoping that it is in fact true and stuff like that. I also spoke about Serpy being a phantom, because at the end of the day, it's very hard for me to take someone who is actually hiding serious, because it seems as if he's trying to escape persecution himself, and so he rather stay hiding and dropping these damning information about people. And so I've spoke about it, but here's the thing. I also give him credit and say I can't blame him, because a lot of persons are finding themselves in the wrong end of the law and continuously committing crimes in the country and thinking that every day is going to be the same, where they just escape or they get a bail on all these kind of things and they're back to their old ways. Someone has to come out. So I think that Serpy is actually like a temporary placeholder for helping to solve crime for the moment. That is the best we're going to get right now, until someone has come up with a creative and innovative idea in order to help tackle crime, to help diminish and lessen crime. This is the best that we're going to get. We're going to get a phantom who's going to drop groundbreaking information about individuals who are associated or affiliated or involved in crime, and that's what we're going to get. But here's my thing to Vegas. Vegas, I understand where you're coming from, and I see sometimes that you have to speak for people who might be afraid, who might be petrified to come forward and clear their name or speak on certain things. But listen, if these things are in fact a lie that Serpy is saying, where are their attorneys to speak on it, to come forward to say this, to take him through litigation and all these kind of things? Not only that, Vegas, you have to point out and make certain that you're on the right side of the law yourself, because it's not just pointing out the problem or pointing out the issue that you're having or the discrepancy that you're having. It's also trying to be a part of the solution. It's also trying to be a part of the problem prevention. So either you're part of the problem or part of the solution. So I get where you're coming from with these the things that you are saying and the disdain that you're having for the means of how Serpy, not just what he's doing, but the means of how he's going about doing these kind of things. And I get where you break it down and you get into the full microcosm of it. I respect that, wherein you're saying that he puts out a photo or a video clip of the man at Sting and what he's saying, showing out to give people an idea of the character that he's trying to depict of this individual. That's the Bright Light funeral director. So I get that. He does it quite a few times. But I'm just saying to you now, Vegas, that it's either you're part of the problem or part of the solution or part of the problem prevention. And that's where we are. We're just going to have to pick a side where we are. Either we're going forward or we're going backward, or we want to remain in the situation that we're in. So as Eckhart Tolle, the great philosopher, said, it's either you change the situation, you leave the situation, or you accept the situation. So you have to choose which side is it that you're trying to be. Either you're trying to be a part of the problem, you're trying to be a part of the solution, or you're going to leave it as it is. That's where we are right now, because it's out of hand. And we need to find a way to stop. We need to find a way to prevent. We need to find a way to lessen. And that's where we're at now, when it comes to crime and violence. So at this point, we have to pick which side we're on. I'm trying to prevent. I'm at a part where I'm trying to prevent. I'm at a part where I want to help to prevent. You understand? Because I want to be a part of nation building. I want to be a part of productivity in the country. I want to be a part of advancement in the society. And even though I'm a no-name YouTuber, unemployed, this, that, and the third, I still serve a purpose in this great country of Jamaica. And I want to be a part of the positive side. Even though I look questionable, I want to be a part of the positive side. And that's what I'm about. You understand? So I think at this point, Vegas, we have to pick which side we want to be a part of. Come up with our idea. Come up with our way. If we have a problem with his way, let's find out our way. Let's find out your way then. Let's find out my way, or it's my duty to find out my way. Let's find out your way as to how you can be a part of the solution or be a part of the problem prevention. And that's all I have to say about it. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. Enjoy your day and may God bless you. Bye-bye.